Close your eyes, just notice what's going on. One more deep breath to settle in. Guide the hands together to the heart. Bowing towards your light, honoring yourself, showing up today in honesty and compassion. Everything else is optional, you know. Hands to the knees, we'll start some cat-cows. Keep going through your cat-cows. Great. So that's your next time that you lean back, hold there. And just really draw the front body in to support that lean. You might feel your shoulder blades open up a bit. Let the head come down. You can be here breathing, front body in. Good. Slowly come up and forward fold. And we're relaxing into a forward fold for a breath or two. Come back up, roll your shoulders. Good. Take your hands out to the sides, anchor your fingers, shoulders back. So you can have them sort of relaxed, roll your shoulders just kind of gently forward. So you might not even be able to see that I'm doing that, but just kind of relaxing them forward like I was just relaxing and hanging out. And then roll them back. So it's coming from your shoulder blades. My hands are just out at my sides, kind of grounded, right? Equal with my hips. And then relax it again and do it again. And do it again. It helps if you make weird sounds. Here, I'm just doing it closer. See how my arms rotate? Rotator cuffs, rotator muscles. Connect the shoulder blades to the arms and draw them to do this away from each other, like a jar opening. Good. Bring your hands like they were in cobra. Same thing, same position through the shoulders. From here to here, same. Awesome. Keep it like that. And then let that go. Somewhat different, bring your hands forward like you were in plank pose. Push forward, but draw the arm bones back. So you can push forward and kind of like extend your arm from your shoulder and then line it back up. Good. Take one hand, push it out to the side like you were twisting into a side plank. And if this arm that's extended is tired, you can relax it, you know, take care of yourself. Push forward, arm bone draws back into the shoulder, and then open it like you were controlling your movement and feel the back muscles in the back of the shoulder blade connecting towards the spine, and this open space across the front. Maybe you feel some interesting things in your wrist or your hand. Let that side go. Other side. Forward, arm bone in, and out. More space across the front, bring it forward and do it again. Strong like your side plank, holding yourself up. And one more time, push forward, draw your arm bone in and open it out. Good. Feel that side body in your ribs. Good. Let that go. If you want to change your leg position, go ahead. We'll just do a few more cat-cows. We do a lot of rotating significant body weight over joints, like when we come into side planks on the shoulders, or different things that we might do, like half moon in the hips, where we're lifting up the whole pelvis and rotating it over the femur. Airplane, we do that sort of thing. All kinds of things we end up rotating. So I want to hold a lot of appreciation for joints that do that, and just make sure we're trying to take care of them as much as we can. Roll the shoulders up and down. Take your arms, lift them up, reach up, and release the fingers and press up, open up. A big breath, ribs in, lift up your spine, low belly in. A big breath. Exhale, very slow and gentle, release out the hands, push out side to side, bring the hands across to the opposite leg. Lean back into that. Good. Change which arm is on top. You can reach up. Same thing, push out and other side. So you can hold anywhere along your leg. I kind of go for my knees or the shins. Good. Come into your forward fold. Walk your hands back, press down into the hands and lift up the heart. Same thing here. It's like you're sliding the shoulder blades towards each other. Let it go. Come on into your table. Start some cat-cows in your table. I'm going to go get a little fan because it's quite warm in my little nest. Tabletop cat-cows. I'll be right back. All right, in your tabletop, do that same thing like you were in a plank pose. So through the shoulders, at least. So same thing, you can push into the hands and kind of round the upper back away. So the arms are reaching kind of out of the shoulders. And then bring them into alignment. So it just drops your heart in a little bit, makes your shoulders a little stronger and secure. Do it again. It's like almost like cat through the upper back. And then bring it right into alignment. And do it one more time. When it's rounded like this, this is more like crow pose does this. And one more time, bring it to alignment. Stay there with your collarbones open. Take your right leg back. Move your ankle around. Maybe you move your leg around. Toes down, push down and back into that leg. Pressure to the inside of the foot, the outside of the foot. Which one needs more, a little more? Maybe it's the inside, like the big toe side. Change sides, other leg back. Move the ankle, move the foot, move the leg. Check that you're not straining your jaw or your neck or anywhere. Bring the toes down, push down and back. Again, check inside and outside pressure. Which one feels more productive or feels good? And lift your hips up to down dog. So you'll probably need to step your toes just like a tiny inch or two forward. Down dog. And we'll just be here doing what feels good. Pedal out the feet, sink into your heels, bend the knees. Press into the hands, lift up the spine, lift up the low belly, stretch it out. Nice breath. Soothing breath. And come forward. We'll go through a few rounds of some sun salutations just to warm up and get things flowing. Halfway lift. Exhale to your fold. The whole spine lowers onto the torso, onto the legs. So we just ground it in and down. Head down. Rise up. That front body strength. Lower body, middle, upper, up to the sky, and forward fold right back into it. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, and come into your plank pose. Maybe you like to notice leading with one foot or the other, alternating. Now in that plank, if we practice, go ahead and push into the hands. I'll just make a little more space through the upper back. So we're kind of rounding the upper back. Notice your arms, like your shoulders at the deltoids are a little further towards the ground than your collarbones. And then bring them to align more. So we drop in a little bit with control. Feel your side of your shoulder blades. Do it again. And one of my teachers calls this straight arm push-ups. So it's like barely moving, but there's so much significance through the back and the chest. All right, bring the knees down. We'll just slide back and slide forward. So I'm not coming all the way back to child's pose. I'm just gonna draw my pelvis back, rounding like cat pose, and then forward like a knee plank. Knees are down, forward and back, slide. Then we'll just walk the hands back towards the body and come to a kneeling upright position. Just to move our wrists a bit, stretch them out, forward, back, open, circles. Sometimes I like to take one hand and kind of squeeze at the wrist gently. You can feel those little bones kind of move a little bit. Little pops. Good. Come on back. Come up to down dog. Down dog. Step forward. If you like to take lots of steps or you're practicing kind of bringing one foot all the way forward, joining the other one, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Up to the sky. All the way back down, exhale. Halfway lift, into plank pose. Step back and lower down all the way down. Come through some cobra poses. Let's do 6 cobras with your breath. Inhale lifts it up, exhale lowers it down. Warm up that beautiful strong back. Some practices like to jump forward and jump back during some salutations. If you feel like you'd like to jump back into plank, The recommendations I've heard is to make it one fluid jump and a lower into chaturanga, so that it's not jolting onto your joints. I've actually heard that it can be more detrimental than anything else to your shoulders. So it's kind of like jumping right back into a chaturanga. Awesome, come up into down dog. Reach your right leg up, 3-leg dog. And soften into your left heel. So the left heel kind of drops down a little bit. The left knee could have some bend in it. Lift up that leg a little higher. Bend your knee and bring your foot all the way forward. Rise up into your crescent lunge for a breath. Inhale, lifts up. Exhale, sinks in. One more full breath. In. Out. Bring your hands back down. Step back into your plank pose. Come through your chaturanga. As you like. If you like continuing to warm up the knee planks to cobras, if that feels best for you, or if you're feeling energetic and controlled today, into up dogs, to down dog. And take your other leg back, left leg back. Soften your right heel. Ooh. Lift your leg a little higher. Soften that heel again. Step your foot forward. The front body draws in. Your foot lands and you can move it into place. Rise up. Core strength lifts up. Settle in. Great, step forward this time. Land into your mountain pose and stay in your mountain for a breath. Great, exhale, forward fold. Even this, it's like we're pivoting the whole pelvis over the femur bones. That's not a small deal. Halfway lift and come to your plank pose. I recommend trying a plank pose chaturanga, like from a plank, elbows touch to the ribs, 90-degree angle through the arms at the elbows, and then to the tops of the feet, so that the hands and the feet are on the ground. There's open space across your collarbones. The elbows have this tiny bend back, and we're making more length without dropping the low back. Exhale to your down dog. I do recommend trying it at least once to see what happens today. And always bring the knees down if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel secure. Take your right leg up. Exhale, bring your foot forward, take your back foot to warrior one. Rise up. Similar to changing your, feeling into your arm and your side planks and your shoulders. We'll do the same thing, but flying forward. So bring your hands to your pelvis, to your hips here. Draw your elbows back maybe slightly. Now, if you want to take your back foot forward first, stepping it a little bit forward, or if you want to try just flying forward, think about that standing hip. The pelvis is lifting up and over. Flying. Land into your warrior one, toes, heel. We might adjust into place, reach your arms back up. Then you can try it with the arms forward. Fly. Warrior three. Strong back leg. Land, warrior one. Take the arms to the sides one more time. Upper back draws a little bit closer together. Fly. Land into warrior one. Come into pyramid. Fold over that extended front leg and breathe. Slowly take your back foot into the long lunge. So step it back foot back a little further, the toes land. Bring that back knee down. Lengthen out your front leg. We just stretch the hamstrings a bit. Should feel, well, there are no shoulds, so forget that. We're just drawing the toes up. Walk your hands forward, step back into plank pose. Try your chaturanga. We don't know until we try. Let it go to down dog. Left leg up. Step it forward. Back foot warrior one. Feet in place, rise up. Hands to the hips. Elbows back a little bit. Fly. Remember, flying, you could have your toes down still. Wherever you are, it's one strong line of energy from your back foot through the top of the head. Land your foot into warrior one. Take the arms up, and we fly this way, arms forward. So they kind of like align with your ears, wherever that is. Keeping that line of energy strong through the fingers. Land. Arms back. My warrior pose is getting longer and longer somehow. Sometimes it gets a little abstract. All right, fly. Upper back is really strong here. Opening your palms towards the ground. Land into warrior one. Ah. Lengthen out that leg, come into your pyramid. We're taking the back foot, change its position. So the front knee bends again. The hands are kind of like in front of your front foot. The back foot lifts up, toes turn down, and you can scooch it back as needed. Soften the back knee down and lengthen that leg out. Front leg, hips back. If you want to walk your hands forward, it's basically very similar to pyramid. Good. Bring your weight forward and step back into plank. Come through your chaturanga as you do this time. Every time is different. Yeah, good. Up dog, cobra. Whatever's good. All the way to down dog. Awesome. Gentle, lower your knees down. Come back into your table. Through table, take your left leg back. Strong leg. Right arm forward, palm facing towards midline. Stay there. Check your bottom shoulder. And 3 times bring your knee to your elbow. Underneath the body, we round and then extend. Bird dog pose, elbow to knee, lengthens out. Take it slowly if you need to for balancing. Do it one more time. And lengthen. Change. What's interesting, make sure your grounded hand stays under the shoulder. Elbow to knee. My body wants to pull back to bring it there, so I'm trying to keep it in line more. Stabilizing shoulder joint. One more time. Good. Gracious. Reach out, let it go. Take your hands forward. You can have your toes tucked, knees above, knees and hips aligned. Walk your hands forward, and we're coming towards like a puppy pose, but it might not be like a full puppy. Just lengthen through the upper body. That might make you bring your hands forward a little further, softening down through the heart. Maybe a little further. If the hips come back, it's okay. Be here and breathe. I'm just like inching my hands forward at a time. Good. Gentle, bring your forearms down. Forearm, and you can use your forearms to walk them closer towards you. Good. Forearms underneath the shoulders, elbows underneath the shoulders. Step back into your forearm plank. 1 foot, 2 foot. Front body, strong and long. Take your left hand, rotate it underneath your eyes, and swivel to your side plank with the forearm down. Come back, forearm plank. If you would like to bring your knees down for a moment, go for it, of course. Take care of yourself and come into your side plank, forearm side plank on the other side. So your hand swivels underneath you, and then you turn. Remember that bottom shoulder. Great, come back. Forearms, forearm plank. To dolphin pose, step your feet forward. It's like down dog with the forearms down. Your hands are somewhere between straight forward and touching each other. They're working towards straight forward, but shoulders are the boss. Knees, shoulders, and hips. 3 bosses. Gentle, lower the knees down. Bring your hands under your shoulders and come back up to a kneeling position. I like this as a recovery position sometimes. It's like not sitting, it's not standing. Bring your hands to the low back. Draw your elbows back. We're not doing like a full camel or anything. We're just kind of here. Stretching out across the pecs, across the chest, all the way through the arms. The front body is probably trying to come forward, and we're just easing it back in. and please let that go. We lift back up to down dog so we can lift up to the sky. Come up to down dog. And step forward. Rise all the way up and stay up in mountain. If you want to open up, bring it through the heart and back to your sides. So good. Open out side to side in your wide stance. So the feet are parallel. Usually, I have heard the length between the feet is the length of one leg. So to kind of get that place, you can bend into one knee. Kind of think about this much length. That's just a reference I've heard, but listen into your own body. If you like bending one knee at a time, you might. For some of us, a deep bend in the knee is probably not that useful. I take it very cautiously when I do. Let's rise up through center into our wide forward fold. Relax into it and be here breathing. If there's something you like to do in your wide forward folds, go for it. It really is your practice, your time to feel into your body and breathe. Bend the knees and rise on up. Open out to the right, warrior two position, pivoting at that hip. So the heel, pivoting on your heel, sinking in. If you want to rise and sink a little bit. Warrior two arms. Side angle. Swoop the hand down and reach it long. Rotate the heart, open. So if the heart's facing towards the ground, go ahead and try to rotate your ribs like it's a twist. If you'd like to play with any sort of bind here, top hand might slide across to the low back, into that hip crease. If you want to bring your bottom arm down further, bending the elbow underneath you, fingers might touch underneath you somehow. I'll try to do it from backwards so maybe you can see my hands. Notice what that feels like on your front hip if you're doing that. Slowly come out from where you are and into your triangle. Same thing, heart is rotating open towards the, slowly, very small increments towards, forward. Maybe rotating up a little. Hips are not forward or back, they're right in a line. Bend your knee and come up. Just rotate your foot back into your wide forward fold. I don't necessarily want to spend a lot of time in those warrior twos. Stretch out side to side, towards one foot and towards the other. If you'd like to get in deeper, bend into one knee and reach away from it. And come on up. Open out, warrior two. I like rising and sinking, just kind of like helps me to feel into what I'm holding. Thinking about how those muscles are relaxing and contracting. lengthening in opposition to hold you. And then they become static, right? They become very strong. Even as they're lengthening, they're strong as you hold. And we breathe. Come to your side angle. So whoop. Any of your variations, if it's arms straight up and down, coming towards a bind. Slowly rise out. Oof. Into triangle. You know, a million years into practicing, it's incredible those things still feel pretty intense. And come up. Rotate one more time. To fold. It's interesting what poses start to feel like a resting pose. Your wide forward fold, bring your hands forward, hips back. Same thing like coming towards that puppy pose, soften your heart. There's a little more space in the shoulders potentially. Where a down dog has one strong straight line from the arms through the shoulders, through the torso. Puppy pose creates a bit more of a back bend through the upper back. And a little more softness through the shoulders, a little more hyperextension, I'd say. Good. Bring your hands back underneath here. We're kind of bring the feet together into a froggy squat. Toes and knees, same direction. Woo. Always, if it helps you, get something to sit on here. Giving yourself support is so compassionate. The first principle of yoga being nonviolence. It's like so good. Of course, nonviolence is not just a physical act, like I don't punch people, but it's also like I take care of myself. I offer myself and others support, etc. We'll just slowly and gently come back up. Pivot the toes, the heels, rise up. Step to the front of your mat. To your forward fold. I want to come down, I want to relax. Right, our forward fold. All right, well, we talked about it, so we may as well, if you'd like to, do a little crow pose. Since we kind of worked on that shoulder rounding upper back, we've been kind of playing with crow pose lately. If you aren't really trying to come into that balance, you can still set up, bringing the elbows back, the knees as close into the armpits as they can be, the heels lift up, And we draw the weight forward. No, I have always said if you want to use a pillow to protect your head, if you fall forward, that's great. Even if you're just here in the setup or in any position, that is perfect. If you want to try lifting up your feet, squeeze your heels, squeeze your legs. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Try 3 times if you like. And if it's not like what you're trying to do right now, you could be in child's pose. We're all going to end up in child's pose eventually. Honesty and compassion. Good work. Crow's fun. Fun to try. Why not? A lot of our yoga victories are slow. They're like 1 second at a time. But they can be thrilling. They can bring a lot of joy. Just bring ourselves. I'm going to do pigeon or figure 4. So go ahead and do either. Your body, your time. Pigeon, the knee comes to the wrist, the other shin. So the shin could be diagonal, so the heel is right by your other hip. If that doesn't create much sensation for you, that's when we can start to kind of bring that foot a little higher up. I know some schools of yoga will tell you to like wedge your foot up until your shin is parallel to the front of your mat. That's not my jam. Over time, little by little. One more breath in your pose. And then work your way out to change. One more breath. and change. You're gonna end up back in tabletop, everyone into table. When you get there, I wanna open up to the side. So take your left foot, open it towards the mat, towards the outside of your mat. Back leg back, and rotate. So it's kind of like a side plank. I call it a side table, and I think that's cute. Now bend your top knee and reach for your foot. So it's about the weirdest position to do a quad stretch, but I don't know. I think it's more available than some other ones. If your knee is lifting up, direct it towards the wall, straight out. You can kind of play with the angle of the knee up and down and change out. Other side, rotate. So what would make this more comfortable? Maybe patting your bottom leg so the shin is the shin and the foot. The knee has some, like a blanket or a towel or something. This is also very much like half moon if I was standing doing this. So this could be a good alternative to standing half moon if you want to work with this sensation through the side body and through your extended leg. If you haven't bent your knee, grab for your foot. Good. Come on out. Down to child's pose. Walk your hands in child's pose side to side if you like, stretching out through your side body. Make your way up to your seat. And we're going to do the stretch with one foot out to the side. So this foot comes out, lift up and fold over your leg. Walk the hands up, change sides. So we're grounded in. We draw upwards, twist and turn to the foot. And come up. Bring the feet down. Take care of your neck. We're coming into reverse table. Do it for myself. Reverse table. The hands underneath the wrist with the fingers pointing forward. Yeah. Forward towards your feet. Lift up your hips. Draw your knees forward. So take care of your neck. It can be neutral. I'm going to suggest letting it hang, or necessarily like I have mine lifted because I get vertigo if my head drops back. Be here. And gentle, lower that down. Come into your boat pose. Side to side, hands to one side, hands to the other side. Row your boat. Your legs might extend. You know, you can like add intensity as you like, toes down, neutral. If you're dropping your low back out, lengthen, strong low back. Just like a halfway lift. Side to side, stretch out the fingers. Couple more times. And let it go. Go on, lay down. That is also why I use a pillow when I lay down. If I lay down on the ground without one, I will get dizzy. Happy baby time. Bring the feet down, lift up to bridge pose. See, that's a lot like that reverse table. Lift up your heels and roll down. Come into your twist. What is the twist for you today? We're going to stay in our twist for like at least 3 long breaths. Come out to twist the other way. It's really like about 4 long breaths or so. Letting the body settle in. Couple more breaths. Come back out into your bridge pose one more time. Lift up the heels and roll down. So a couple of options. Either butterfly the legs open, or if it's available, try to bring your heels to your sits bones as if you were sitting crisscross. So I kind of scooch my feet towards the opposite sits bone and then let the legs relax out. Just like if I was sitting. If that is possible, do that one first. If you've done that, lift the other leg to the top. So whichever leg is on top, change it out. If you're in butterfly and you want to come into daydreamer with the knees together, the feet open. Come out, hug your knees in. Arms around the legs. And compressing the hips a bit, give them a squeeze. And if it feels good to lift your chin, lift your nose, gonna like round in. You just wanna let it go. Bring the feet down, knees up, rock your knees side to side until you feel ready to relax into your Shavasana, unless you need anything else. When you're ready to find your stillness, find your quiet.